What's up, weirdos? I'm a little bit nervous for this one because Zach Justice is like a very famous influencer. So I just want to say before we get started, I want to address Zach personally and just say, dude, Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boy? Certified That's right. Listen, I did not really know about Zach Justice until the past year. For some reason, my For You page on TikTok just suddenly became infested with videos of like some slow burn romance between him and Tara Yummy taking place over some podcast called Dropouts. I don't know. It was the will they, won't they TikTok couple of a month. But that's where my knowledge began and undid. Beganded? That's all I knew about the guy. So imagine my shock when I get on my phone in the morning and I find out, oh, brother might have groomed a girl. And by might have, I mean, I have to say might have. But before I go into showing you the videos of Zach Justice and the girl that he allegedly groomed, I want to preface it a little bit with the warning signs of grooming. This is from the official RAIN.org. RAIN stands for the Abuse and National Network. But from this very official source, it says that the warning signs for grooming are victim selection. Abusers often observe possible victims and select them based on ease of access to them or their perceived vulnerability. The possible victim here is Indiana, who Zach knew since she was 14 years old and, oh yes, by the way, lived with her. Oh, but if he was like 16, that's not a big deal. Yeah, you're right, it wouldn't be a big deal. But when she was 14, he was 20 at the time. 20, and she was 14. Why is this something that we're talking about? Oh, because they had a public romantic relationship after he lived with her and had a long history of a very close relationship with her since she was 14 and he was 20. But then, yeah, when she's of age, they just start dating, but that came out of nowhere. Anyways, that's warning sign 1. Number 2, gaining access and isolating the victim. Abusers will attempt to physically or emotionally separate a victim from those protecting them and often seek out positions in which they have contact with minors. Would you say being a 20-year-old living with the 14-year-old is access? A clear second chick in the warning sign. Listen, I'm not saying anything is for a fact, Zach Justice, because I know you're watching this video and we're going to get into that later with anybody that talks about this. 2 out of 5, but let's go on to 3. Trust development and keeping secrets. Abusers attempt to gain trust of a potential victim through gifts, attention, sharing secrets, and other means to make them feel that they have a caring relationship and to train them to keep the relationship secret. Now, what if I told you that in this video, I will dive deep and unveil the evidence of him having a very specific connection where it was a secret and trust and it's caring, making them feel like there's attention and special and share, because that is also explicitly a factor in their relationship. Number 4, desensitization. Abusers will often start to touch a victim in ways that appear harmless, such as hugging, wrestling, and tickling, and later escalate to increasingly more sexual contact, such as massages or showering together. Now, this one's a little bit tough to judge from the outside because all we're seeing is like the looks that they're actually showing us into their lives on social media. So obviously they wouldn't post anything where they're like touching and being like that, but you know, they did with TikToks. Because here's a cute little video that Indiana posted while she was, to be clear, 17. This is like a trend where it's like, oh, her texting Zach Justice, hey, I heard from a friend you edit videos. And Zach says, yeah, you need some edited? And she said, yeah, I'm down to give you a shot. And then cut to montage. Yeah. Oh, that right there definitely seems cool. Yeah, because she posted this a month before she turned 18. So all these videos and pictures that she's showing are memories. By the way, memories that began when she was, 14. Because he got hired when she was 14 and he was 20 to edit videos for her. And then also, for some reason, he was like invited to live in her house with her mom. Mom, what the fuck are you doing? But that kind of relationship where videos like this are just totally natural for the entire time and you're like fully like touching and stuff. By the way, in no world will any part of this be like blaming Indiana for any of this. Like, oh, she's the one hugging him? Okay, he's 23 in this video. In a video with a 17-year-old that he's known since he was 14 holding onto him like this, and you're like, okay, well, that's not that bad. But then you gotta remember that once she was of age, they started dating and they had a relationship. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's all there. The proof is all out there. Just post it. We haven't even gotten into the video yet. I'm just going through the signs of grooming and showing you source. Zach out there going, okay, but that sign isn't source, and then me going source. Number 5, the 5th and final warning sign of grooming. Attempt by abusers to make their behavior seem natural, to avoid raising suspicions. For teens who may be closer in age to the abuser, it can be particularly hard to recognize tactics used in grooming. Be alert for signs that your teen has a relationship with an adult that includes secrecy, undue influence or control, or pushes personal boundaries. Would you say that a 20-year-old boy living in a 14-year-old girl's house and editing her videos and having a close personal relationship with her that develops over her entire adolescence while he is the entire time a fully grown adult man, and then she trusts him and is like feeling really close to him and confides secrets in him and he has a lot of influence over her career might potentially tick the box for that warning sign?
I think so.
So in the warning signs for grooming, we are 5 for 5 so far. Keep those warning signs in mind. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, the farmer's dog. This is my dog Gustav, and he is a rambunctious, rascally, and very cute. Actually, he's really sweet these days. Oh my god, he's kissing me, Gustav. Now, we all know that highly processed foods aren't good for us, but why would we then be giving highly processed foods to our dogs? Because kibble is highly processed. It's subjected to multiple rounds of high heat processing, meaning that it's basically an ultra processed form of food, which is why I love the farmer's dog for Gustav, because it's made with real whole food. And you can literally see it in the food. It's fresh, it's healthy, it's whole meat and veggies, but importantly, it's gently cooked in human grade kitchens so that it's retaining a lot more nutritional value. And it's personalized to you. You just tell them about your dog and they create a personalized meal plan for your dog. Oh buddy, he's so sleepy. And all of their meals arrive in these pre-portioned, ready-to-serve packs. And as you can tell, Gustav really likes them. And they ship so conveniently. It truly makes everything very, very simple for you. And if you click the link in my description, you get 50% off your first box and free shipping. The link in my description, 50% off your first box and free shipping. And thank you again to the Farmer's Dog for sponsoring this video. Now back to the other stuff. First of all, let me show you a clip of them discussing the beginning of their relationship so you can see how uncomfortable Zach is with this topic. As he should be.
People actually didn't know officially that we dated until that podcast.
Oh, really?
No, we kept it like really under wraps because, and I'm gonna bring this up right now, Zach and I met when I was 14 years old. That's gonna get clipped.
That feels so weird.
Zach, what the fuck, dude? He sat there and said, I feel weird. I feel weird that you just said that we met when I was 20 and you were 14. Good, I feel a little bit weird about that. So he worked for her mom at the time, and in exchange for editing her videos, he got to live in the apartment with her. And they maintained a close relationship that entire time. And then suddenly, when she was of legal age, he just decided, actually, I'm starting to have feelings for you out of nowhere. I haven't had any feelings bubbling up this entire time. And actually, our relationship hasn't been at all inappropriate. I'm sorry, brother. If you are living with a 14-year-old girl and you're 20 and you don't hate her guts, like, by the way, this is going not talked about enough. If you're a 20-year-old dude, like a guy, 20-year-old, and there's some 14-year-old fucking pipsqueak next to you, you should be annoyed by that. You should not harbor a close relationship that suddenly becomes romantic, and once she's legal age, bro, let's let her keep talking a little bit in this because I want to see a little bit more.
Literally, I can't even express to you how much nothing happened.
I sure hope not. You're 14 years
But
old.
I know, I'm trying to like.
Okay, I
like,
thought you were like backtracking, like. I was just making sure.
No, because there have been so many things on comments, Reddits, like TikTok videos.
Yeah, sometimes there's a reason that the entire public is screaming at you, your boyfriend groomed you, Occasionally, that is because your boyfriend groomed you. But if I would bring you back to point number 5 on the warning signs for grooming, attempt by abusers to make their behavior seem natural. Nothing weird happened, oh my god, he just harbored like a really close relationship with me so that when I became legal, it didn't seem that big of a leap so that we could start dating. You know, ever since I was a minor, I've been like able to like grab him and be like comfortable around him and stuff. Like I'm just like his like koala bear. Do you know that he's fostering that relationship? Do you know that he is fostering that exact thing that's happening? If he did not want that to be happening, it would not be happening. When you are 14, 15, 16, and you are dealing with a 20, 21, 22-year-old man, they are the one who has the power to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't have our hands all over each other in this play wrestling fun little, we're brother-sister way. But clearly Zach didn't have a problem with that. You know, based on the video evidence, you fucking like idiot. And this small TikToker named Xena, by the way, shout out Xena. The way I found out about this whole thing was the screenshotted DMs that he sent her. Yeah, it gets to that level and we're gonna dive in. Anyways, she posted a video talking about the Zach Justice situation and she brought up this little video of him when he was 24 and she was 17. This is all she brought up. I'm gonna show how light she went on him. Then I'm gonna show you his response. Then I'm also gonna show you how hard she could have gone. And Zach, if you're watching, I know you are because you watched her and then you had a whole DM conversation with her. I know you're watching. I just gotta say, hey Zach, I hear you like him young. You better not ever head to cell block 1. To any woman that talks to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. It's just a little something I came up with off the dome. Anyways, the video that she's talking about is this. He's chasing her around the house and then...
You forgive me? Let's hang out. Let's hang out. I got you ice cream. We're friends again.
Oh, okay. Friends. Gentlemen, in my opinion, that seems like how you treat a girl flirting with or you have a crush on. Especially when, just, you know, when they turn legal age, you start dating. Kind of seems like these actions, which before could have been excused like, okay, maybe it is just like an older brother thing, but then you dated her. So it proves that you weren't not interested in her in that way. Do you know what I mean? Zach, if you weren't in a relationship with her, people could say, okay, they're just like a brother-sister dynamic. But then you date her and it becomes clear that you have romantic intentions. And then all of a sudden these clips look a lot more damning. Point being, we're gonna get into the DMs that he sends the girl who made a TikTok talking about this, where he's directly making arguments so that we here on the Film Cooper video can respond to his points. Cause I feel like people aren't squaring up on this motherfucker as much as they should. Cause people should genuinely just, I don't wanna say anything, but anyways, back to Xena. In her video, she showed this little section, which is her scrolling through old posts that Indiana made, like back when she was 15 years old and Zach was 23. And you see him liking all of them and commenting on all of them in a way that's like, this guy has access to this girl in a way that you don't want him to have, especially when you know that he has intentions. Maybe he didn't then. Zach, I'm not saying you did then. Maybe you had a moral conscience back then saying, no, don't do that, don't do that. Now in her video, she's blocking a couple of them, but I just wanted to highlight, you see the end of this one that he commented? He said something ... you're cool too, I guess. And then also this one here where he said, I'm good, frowny face. And then she said, wasn't offering you. Now, I am not sure if y'all are aware, but this is how 15-year-old girls flirt. And unlike Zach, the only reason I know that is from back when I was 15, not in my 20s. Because the thing is, flirting with teenage girls when you're a teenager is okay. When you're Zach Justice and you have personal intimate access and you're having that kind of relationship publicly, not so okay. You creep. Anyways, Zach saw this and he decided to comment on the video. The video, which by the way, currently has only 7,000 likes. I'm not sure if you're aware, that's not that viral. But he commented, this is his official account, look. Wow. He said, actually, I would never, as I am actually a respectable human being. Twisting things to make someone a villain is a strange pastime. Hey, Zach, that's really condescending for somebody who has video evidence and proof of them grooming, according to the warning signs from RAINN, an official organization specifically for that type of situation. And their 5 warning signs are perfectly exemplified in your relationship with Indiana. Exemplified means like made an example of. I don't know if you would know that though, because your grammar is interesting. With actually, I would never, as I am actually, not good writing form. Also, it's not pastime. It's actually pastime, spelled like this. Zach, you said twisting things to make someone a villain is a strange pastime. But if I were to use it in a sentence, I would say that grooming a girl is a strange pastime. One word, buddy. And I would say that we should send you back to 7th grade grammar class, but I'd be afraid you'd find your next girlfriend. Okay, anyways, next video, because she made a part 2 and he responded to that one as well.
Hi, Zach. So happy you made it. Okay, so let me get this straight. So I'm turning you into the villain by taking things that you've posted and said and then bringing them to light.
Exactly, Xena. Exactly. She goes on to make the point that I've been making this whole time, that you can say, I didn't do it. I can't believe you would say that about me. But it doesn't really hit when the things that we're accusing you of doing are just things that you were video doing. I'm not accusing you of getting physically intimate with a young teenage girl while you're in your early 20s. I'm not. But what I am saying is that the warning signs are all there, and it's very curious that with all those warning signs, you then dated that girl when she became legal, which kind of makes those warning signs a little bit different. And when you say, come on, oh, like you're just saying these things. Well, the things that you posted are really bad, Zach. But no, you're right. We're not referencing a video of you literally being physically intimate with a young girl in your mid-20s. We're not accusing you of that. But when you look at the tapestry of evidence that is publicly out there, in no world are you not fully coloring in the lines of the 5 warning signs of being a fucking groomer. That's why the stance I'm taking on this video is that best case scenario, Zach Justice is a total fucking creep. And that's as far as I'm willing to say. I'm not gonna say the other things because I don't know you, but I do know what you've posted, and what you have posted makes you a fucking creep. Now, Zach Justice's response to her second video was to say, you don't have to live your life filled with hate. Hey guys, can't we all just be friends? Says the groomer. You don't have to live your life so filled with hate. Guys, I mean, what are we even mad about? What mad at little old me? Guys, let's spread love. You sound like a guy who got busted for drunk driving and is actively drunk arguing with the officer. You don't have to live your life with, hey, like, I don't need my license taken away again. It's
all love here.
It's like the things that we're accusing you of and saying that you're doing aren't things that you didn't do, that you have videos of you doing. Oh my God. Anyways, he went on to DM her a lot. This video had 5,000 likes. I'm telling you, these are not viral videos, but the links he went to in this DM exchange, oh my God. And we're gonna read the whole thing. She said, let's talk. I genuinely love to hear how you explain yourself. He said, call me on this. He doesn't want any text screenshot records. That's why he's saying that, by the way. She said, I'm at a hair appointment. Do we have to call? He said, yes, this is a very serious situation. It is serious for you, but like, what are you gonna change? The evidence? She said, okay, I mean, I can call you this evening. Clearly, this is a very serious situation. He said, call me this evening. If I'm on a flight and can't answer, we can try tomorrow. The behind the scenes of the things you talk about is beyond what you can think. You can hate my dark jokes, totally fine. That comes with trying to make edgy jokes. But insinuating I would or have done anything so vile is damaging to real victims. Indiana will also talk to you as well if you'd like. But yes, it needs to be a call. It needs to be a call so that you can't have the text screenshotted, but this is enough screenshotting for me. The dark jokes that he's talking about is a joke that she mentioned that he made on the podcast at Tara Yummy.
You are a dream.
What?
Like you're like small and dainty, so it's like you're kind of like a kid. I'm just saying you could like help people. They should put you in prisons with like the
Oh my God, Tara, you look so much like a little kid. That doesn't add any odd layers to my slow burn romance story where I was clearly playing into an attraction between the two of us. To then talk about how you look like such a little girl, while also all of the warning signs of grooming are there between you and a girl that you knew when she was 14, and that you spent the next years maintaining a close relationship where you had secrecy and built trust, and then normalized it to her to the point that she would then defend that relationship for you in the future after you'd already broken up. Let's not be ridiculous. That's what he did. And Megan jokes like that at Tara Yummy. Okay, it's a dark joke, I guess. Said by Zach Justice. Sounds like a confession. I'm not saying it is. It's just a dark joke. But then he says, insinuating I would or have done anything so vile is damaging to real victims. Motherfucker. Nobody is insinuating anything other than the evidence that you publicly posted being a fully pieced together 5 warning signs of grooming. At best, you have painted a perfect picture of what a groomer looks like, but you didn't do anything, but at best, you have done that. So to then say that it would be damaging to real victims to even talk about this, just cause she doesn't feel victimized doesn't mean that she's not a victim. That comes with the emotional and psychological manipulation of a victim. And as she's hearing this right now, I'm sure she's like, no. And I'm sorry, I can't make that sound good to you, because after going through all of this, I'm sure her feelings towards Zach are about like, wanting to protect him, blah, blah, blah. Oh,
No, it was fine. I needed everything that I wanted.
Yeah, but what you'll understand when your frontal lobe has fully developed, as Zach's has years ago, you just realize that you could do nothing wrong and he could seem really nice and he could think he's doing nothing wrong, but what he was doing was wrong. You should have had much clearer boundaries with the 14-year-old girl that you were living, and you should have not let that relationship develop into something that could be categorized as, are they siblings or dating, which is what their relationship was largely online while she was a minor. Because remember that video I showed that was like the montage of her with Zach ended in the hug? This one, remember this? Well, in the comments, somebody said, I can't tell if your siblings are dating. 3,800 likes. She said, not dating. Then someone says, thought they were sisters and brother, meaning that they were thinking that this video was evidence that they were dating, while she was a minor and he was 23 years old. Interesting. Okay, I've got more to show you, but let's get back into the DMs, because she responded by saying, are you saying you didn't know her at 14 and 15 and 16? Because that's my point. That in of itself is the issue. The fact that I stated is that you dated a girl you knew as a child while you were an adult. Like, this is all public information. Exactly. That's all anybody is saying. That is what is wrong. And he said, those are all things I'm more than happy to talk about. Nothing even close to being strange or weird ever happened between us. I worked for her mom briefly and didn't then see her again until 2019 when she had a boyfriend. And the rest can be said on the cell because it's very dark. Darker than you think. Indiana is happy to tell you herself as well. She hates this narrative because it makes her look like a victim when we both have helped people through real situations. It's totally undermining real victims. Like, from the outside, sure, I can see how you think this, but I promise you in Indiana as well, I would never hurt or manipulate a soul. You can say anything you want in English. That's what makes words special. but it doesn't make it the truth, Zach. Oh my God. I worked for her mom briefly and didn't see her again until, didn't see her again. Okay, well, what about this?
I love this boy and I will always love him. And that is my idea of the perfect date.
The title of the video, Who Knows Me Better Challenge? Who wins the romantic date question? Hey, Zach, if you are a 23-year-old man and the 15-year-old girl that you live with asks you to be in a video where she asks romantic questions to see who knows her best, hey, buddy, it's gonna be a little bit weird if you don't say no. And it's gonna be even more weird if you foster a close relationship with that girl that fully colors in the 5 warning signs of grooming, and then once she's legal, you date her. I'm having a hard time understanding where that's not grooming. Oh, because she wanted it and everything was fine, and like the other stuff, like everything's fine. Let's see how you fare on though. What would be my perfect date that your 15-year-old housemate asks you?
They're gonna try and come up with an idea of what my perfect date would be.
Listen to this. I'll go first, because I know. So you're sitting there. This fine gentleman looks at you from across the room. He gives you one of these. He's playing the piano. Ooh, where are you guys at? Ooh, a jazz bar? Who's? And then he comes up to you and says, "Hey, sweetheart, you trying to get out of here?" And you say, "Yes, darling."
What am I doing?
Hey, Zach, just want to pop in here real quick, remind you, you're a 23-year-old man, 1 year younger than me right now, and the girl sitting next to you that you were describing the perfect date to, a 15-year-old girl who you have been hired to have a close working relationship with. And when she asked the question, what would be my perfect date? He said,
I'll go first, because I know.
oh, I'll go first. I know this one right away. And then going into a role play situation where you're being like, hello, sweetheart. I was her mom and I saw this video, I would fire Zach into the sun. He wouldn't be out of a job. He'd be out of breath. What the fuck do you mean I'm giving you a room in my apartment so that you can edit videos of my 15-year-old daughter, and you are a 23-year-old man saying, oh no, let me describe your perfect date. Yeah. Basically, there's a guy at a piano. He goes, hey, what's up, sweetheart?
Wop, 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 wop.
Being in a bar.
It's a jazz lounge.
It's a jazz kids.
It's a kids'
Yeah,
jazz
jazz
lounge.
lounge.
Stay with me here.
Okay. Yeah.
You're enjoying yourself. He says, once you get in my wagon, that's what he calls his car, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, it's a wagon.
You get in his wagon. Unfortunately, his mom's driving because you guys are both underage.
They are both underage. Hey, Zach, please remember that. They are both underage. They are both underage. They are both underage. Maybe if you spent a little bit more time reminding yourself that she was underage, you wouldn't have dated her as soon as she was legal, and it wasn't weird for you to do that. It wasn't weird in your eyes. I don't know, man. If this is how you want to conduct yourself as a human being, I guess that's what you did, but there's 5 signs and you're filling them out in this video. But let's go back to the comments real quick, because he said here, he didn't see her again until 2019 when she had a boyfriend, and the rest can be said on the call because it's very darker than you think. And then she said she hates this narrative because it makes her look like a victim when we both have helped people through real situations. It's solely undermining real victims. What he seems to be implying is that she was going through some very dark trauma that he helped her with at that time, and that's why they had this close relationship. He goes on to say, I don't want all of this blasted on the internet. It's a serious situation. And he only wants to talk about this situation on a call because he doesn't want texts of this traumatic situation involving Indiana. And he clearly views himself as a savior here, saying we both have helped people through real situations. And I'm sure Indiana would back him up on that and say that he helped her. But what I would say is that when a young girl who you have known since she was 14 and is currently 16 years old, if she is going through a relationship problem and you're 24 years old, I don't think the move is to get real close to her and help her through it, and then when she's legal, date her. But hey, that's me. Anyways, in the DMs, she says, yes, because it doesn't look good for you, does it? But it happened. He said, I know you just wanted views. She said, like you said, you're happy to talk about the situation, then do it. And then he pulls out a very cool, very masculine, very manly, if you cared, you'd talk to me and call me. If you actually cared so much, you'd fucking like call me. She said, LMAO, that video barely has any views. That's true, Zach. After all this, it still has like 7,000 likes. That's not a big video. I only found out about it because you did this. You're the master of your own demise, Zach. Not just because of your actions then, because of your dumbass actions now. He says Indiana doesn't want what happened to her on text for people to see. Hey, fair enough. But then why are you using it to defend your actions? It seems like you're saying, yeah, okay, I did completely do everything that is signs of grooming somebody, and then once they became legal, I dated them. So by definition, the grooming, like getting somebody ready to be in a relationship with them, technically, if you're viewing it that way, I guess I did do that. I'm not saying you did that intentionally, but I am saying you didn't stop yourself from doing that, as evidenced by doing it and then dating her. What's not getting through your coconut head brain. You big-headed dumbass. By the way, this is why Tara Yummy left Dropouts. I'm just gonna say, you think it's a coincidence that all this stuff starts coming to light and then Tara Yummy pops out and says, I'm leaving Dropouts, just on to different things. A little bit too busy. Anyways, later in the DMs, he says, nope, not true. You framed me to be a That's the grossest thing anyone can be. No, Zach, actually nobody's framing you to be a What we're doing is taking the video evidence and screenshots and saying, look, 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 and then the definition of grooming and all of the warning signs of it and saying, look, look, look. And these two Venn diagrams, you know, where they have the middle part that intersects, and these two circles of information, by the way, when you put them together, is actually just a circle. All of the warning signs of grooming is just in the evidence. There is no speculation on, did he actually do the things that are the warning signs of being a groomer? No, you could just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, video link, video link, video link, screenshot, screenshot. And you yourself know it because when somebody brought it up earlier, you said, that feels weird. Hey, you know why it feels weird? Because it is! Like, obviously, how do you not know that? I'm telling you, he's just stupid. He's too stupid to actually know what he's done. But that's not an excuse. He later says, why do you thrive on bringing people down when you don't know what actually happened? If you cared, why not reach out to me or Indiana? If you even cared. I honestly don't thrive on bringing people down. It's not fun. I can do all sorts of things that aren't bringing people down. But one thing that I do like to do is bring somebody down who's not taking accountability for a heinous act. And Zach, that is spelled H-E-I-N-O-U-S. Heinous. But he has a good point. Later in the DMs, he says, how am I not addressing anything? Indiana and I never had a romantic relationship or really much of a friendship until she was 18.
What my perfect date would be.
Oh, I'll go first because I know.
A romantic date where somebody's looking at you across the bar. He's playing the piano. He says, what's up, sweetheart? Oh, you weren't close. Oh, we got a little relationship timeline here. Here's her at 15, him at 22. On the red carpet, hand firmly on her body. Oh, her 16th birthday. Oh, there he is right there filming. Oh, and as you can see from this screenshot, he says that he was hired to film the party, not even joking. Talking about her 16th birthday that we just saw. So he was close with her at 14, 15, 16, 17, as evidenced by the evidence. But then he says, Indiana and I never had a romantic relationship or really much of a friendship until she was 18. Of course, you say that. I mean, what else are you gonna say? But again, words when put together might form a sentence, but that doesn't mean that they tell the truth. Because you can say that, but that doesn't make it real. Like, you saying that doesn't mean like, oh, okay, I believe it. I'm sorry that I called you out. Okay, well, I'm looking at video evidence of her at 14, 15, 16, 17. And you at 20, 21, 22, 23. You know that TikTok? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Every time Zach Justice heard one of those numbers, he was like, oh my God, that's the exact type of age demographic that I'm interested in. She responded by saying, and this is okay to you? You knew her from the age of 14. And he responded by saying, you paint it like I was waiting, lurking for her to become 18. That's disgusting and didn't happen. Hey, brother, we're not painting it that way. You are the one who's saying that. And by the way, you're filling in the gaps between the dots. The dots are very clearly there. And these dots seem to only be put together in a way of, oh, seems like this guy was interested in her because he ended up dating her once she was legal. And yet he knew her and was very close to her when she was underage. So do we feel like those feelings spontaneously popped up when the clock struck midnight and she hit 18? No. I'm not saying you were waiting and lurking, but I am saying that once she hit 18, your mind probably went, well, it's not illegal now. Judging by the fact that once it was not illegal now, you did pursue a relationship with her. You stone-headed, brain dead. I'm not gonna go any further, but I'm not gonna. She said, never said anything like that. He said, you insinuated. Dots are there. It's very easy to fill in the gaps. Seems like you can do it yourself, Zach. Very great. It's very exciting to see your brain progressing to a point where you can do problem solving a little bit. Now I'm curious, how are you gonna solve the problem of everybody knowing about what you did? It's people who are this dumb who literally make me bust out my Watch Mojo voice. He goes on and says, do you not see how you are leading people to believe something so gross and completely undermining real victims? You are just saying that because you do not think that she is a real victim. That does not mean that she's not a real victim. You think she isn't. She says she isn't. But guess what, Salvador Perez? That doesn't mean what you did wasn't wrong. If you fucking read the 5th warning sign of grooming, you would understand that you are completely exemplifying it right now. No, babe, it's normal. No, babe, it's totally normal. Every guy who's 24 wants to date the girl that he babysat. No! She goes on to say, I'm undermining victims by telling exactly what happened. And she said, and please don't talk about undermining victims when you make pedo jokes all the time. Thank you! He said, again, jokes. You're being serious. Undermining real victims. Making jokes about the situation. Listen, I'm not gonna say you can't make dark jokes, but when you're making dark jokes about this, and then you have the history that you have, Zach, gotta admit it looks a little fucking weird, man. You gotta admit it. No, you know, like if you were seeing anybody else doing this, you would go, ew, stinky, which is what Tara Yummy did. By the way, real quick, let's throw in a fun little exchange between Zach and Indiana.
No, I told you you look like a model with your tiny I love her milkers.
Zach.
Okay, where do I land on this then? Do I say I like your titties or don't like your titties? Just because we can paint your chest and play a pretty level game of chess on it.
Hey, Zach, that's so funny, man. Hey, do you remember the time when you were 20 years old living with her and she was 14? Do you remember that? Hey, do you remember how the majority of your relationship has been while she was underage and you were much older than her? In your 20s the entire time. Wow, do you remember that? And right now you're talking about how her tiny chest turns you on. How you're attracted to how it looks like underdeveloped in a way that doesn't really sound so great. So I guess your joking tone when you're saying that is actually really creepy and you should maybe rethink how you talk and act. Yeah. But no, it's cool. Yeah, on her birthday, just going out with her on her 18th birthday. Clearly you weren't close. Okay. You can lie, I guess. Anyways, he ended this DM exchange by saying, the point is, I don't know why you try to find the negative in it, but I hope whatever is going on in your personal life, you heal from and become happy with yourself. And that's not me being mean. I genuinely mean that. Oh, Zach, oh my God, you're a really good manipulative boyfriend, I bet. Wow, that is really, really embarrassing for that to be publicly just out there. The point is, I don't know why you try to find the negative in life. Hey, pal, the negative in life is screenshots and video evidence of your ex-girlfriend and you when you were in your 20s and she was a young teenager. Early 20s and early teens. Very different ballgame, my friend. Now, Zach, because you want to come at my sister Zena for what she said, I had to do a little bit of further digging because I felt like there was probably more out there that she didn't have time to discuss. And I've already been showing a lot of that throughout this video. But now I want to take some time to look at a few more clips. Remember, Zach was hired to be her editor, so he edited this. Maybe he shot it, I don't know. He was also living there. I think the chances are high that he shot it. I'm not gonna say that, but he did edit it. And at first you're thinking, okay, so she's just at a go-kart track. Okay, cool. Okay, then she goes over here and we're gonna have to blur the screen because she's 15 years old and I will just describe what is happening on screen. So that is Indiana and the video zooms in on her bottom. The copyrighted music playing, I'll go for just a second so you can hear. The song is I Got a Big Booty, I Got a Big Booty, which was the decision of a 21-year-old man while editing a video of a 15-year-old girl. By the way, the video didn't seem like there was anything really wrong with it until you add in the context of the song, I got a big booty, a big, big booty. And then the shot placement seems to be a little bit more, I don't know, fucking gross. How about another video, Zach? In this one, the girls are 15. And again, Zach is
21.
Cool. Great.
We're moot banging.
We're gonna bang that moon today.
We're gonna bang
Okay, ready?
hard and deep.
Should we try? Guys, really quick.
I won't include that part.
we're gonna mug bang hard and deep. Hey, 15-year-old girls, you think that was cool when I said that really sexual comment? Oh, wait a minute, that reminds me of Rain and one of the warning signs of grooming. Desensitization to touch and discussion of sexual topics. Oh, yeah.
And deep. Hard.
Oh man, I bet you felt so cool when those 15-year-old girls were giving you all of that attention. Does it make up for all the rejection you felt when you were in high school? Hey, buddy, you've graduated college. You shouldn't still be looking for validation from freshmen in high school. But if you're looking for validation from 15-year-old girls in a way of talking about mukbanging hard and deep. Oh my God, you know, am I crazy? No, I am gonna keep that in. I shouldn't keep that in, should I? Oh, I will. Hey, Zach, you know the entire audience isn't just 15-year-old girls watching it. It can also be a 24-year-old man looking at it with disgust because of what you've done. It's not looking great, man. It's not. It's really not. Now, in response to all this, Indiana did say, he didn't groom me. She said that multiple times. And I just want to say again, whatever situation happened that she went through that made her feel like it was okay for this much older man to swoop in and emotionally comfort her in a vulnerable period of time in her life, after they have known each other while she was in her early teenage years and he was in his early 20s. That is not acceptable behavior from him. And I don't care how much it was nice for you in that moment. You don't have to accept what he did as wrong for it to have been wrong. And that's just the reality of it. Now I got one more video I want to show you of Zach talking about Indiana.
My lover at the time, actually no, we were not in a relationship. Please don't click. I swear my life, she would one day be my girlfriend. Not my girlfriend when we started. It feels like I want to make that abundantly clear.
Why is that? Can you explain why that's like just for the people?
Because I think she was like 18, like fresh 18.
Well, don't say fresh 18.
No, but that's why I'm making it, because we were not together. Okay. Hell, I've dug myself in such a hole.
Just say 18 though. I mean, you don't have to say fresh.
No, but
yeah, I'm glad bro over there was holding him to the fire. Because he said his lover at the time. His lover, and then being like, oh, wait, no, she wasn't my lover. No, she was like fresh 18. Oh, she wasn't my lover. Your lover to be. I meant my lover to be. No, man, no, I'm not accepting that. And Zach, I'm sure you've already drafted a comment like you did on all the other posts about you because you can't keep your trap shut. But I just want to say, maybe you're not a certified p, but what you are is somebody who fully displayed the 5 warning signs of grooming. And then when that girl was legal, you started dating her. And for me, that's enough to never want to support you or watch anything you ever do again, and to click not interested whenever you pop up on my FYP with some slow burn romance with Tariami. By the way, pretty sure that's dead. And I feel like your career is too. Like, honestly, with this stuff coming to light, there's no way that people are just gonna like look past this. It's so dramatically disgusting. And I'm sorry to Indiana. I'm really sorry that this situation happened. Clearly you don't find yourself to be the victim, but unfortunately, you know, what happened is what happened. And I feel the way I feel about him because of the evidence of what happened. Every possible excuse that he could have could be true, but he can't excuse the things that actually physically happened that we have seen. And I feel like I am losing my mind when somebody like this acts like it's not that big of a deal because blah, blah, blah. You're a little lizard on its back flailing your arms and legs around like a little fucking Kermit the Frog freak, scrambling, trying to hold on to 1 ounce of fame. And the thing is, Zach, people won't forget you, but you're not going to be famous. You're going to be infamous. And the thing you're infamous for is everything we've talked about, you absolute brain dead moron. Okay, anyways, thank you so much for watching this. Please subscribe.
I'm heated right now. Because seeing him in the DMs being called out by somebody who's 100% right. Like she was 100% right for everything that she was saying. And he was just like, well, no, because you won't get on a call with me and you don't even want to listen. Like, real victims are like, motherfucker, are you like a real victim? Motherfucker, like, ugh.